These people endure a level of suffering that is difficult to imagine. Most are old, and many have emotional or psychological problems. Their families live far away or fled the fighting months ago. And they braved the shelling to come here for soup and to charge their phones. But Russia's bombardment of Bakhmut is getting heavier by the day.
My neighbor was killed in her cellar. She burned alive. I fled my home 4 days ago during the fighting. I had to crawl along the street to escape. There was an explosion just meters away from me.
The destroyed centre of town is almost completely deserted. Russian forces are only around a kilometre away. The artillery explosions are relentless. Some people wait patiently in the cold, risking their lives, desperate for food and humanitarian aid. Others are so hungry they seem oblivious to the danger of simply standing outside.
I cannot get all the aid I need without documents, and they all burned when my house was hit on the other side of the river.
Many of the people here on the western side of town are going to food distribution centres and these makeshift shops. We understand that the majority of the heaviest fighting is to the north, the east, and increasingly the southeast of the city. But of course, there is nowhere safe in Bakhmut. Most of the people who lived in these flats have fled. Retired engineer VIKTOR KASYANENKO leads us upstairs. He and his wife Galina and mother-in-law are the only people left in their apartment block. 93-year-old Maria lies wrapped under blankets in the dark. Frail and afraid, she wants to see her son, but he lives across the front line in Russian-occupied territory. My life was good before the war, she says. We built a nice house, we had everything, but then the fighting started. VIKTOR shows us where they store rainwater for drinking. There's been no water or electricity in Bakhmut for months. He worked in the oil industry for 25 years before the breakup of the Soviet Union, and so is entitled to a Russian pension.
If
there was a corridor to where my brother-in-law lives, then we would try to leave. Or if we could get to Moscow or St. Petersburg where our sons live. But we don't have any money because we can't get our Russian pensions anymore.
Most people stopped living above ground months ago. LYUDMILA and 5 other people are sheltering in this basement.
The shelling has got much worse in the last couple of days. I'm too afraid to leave the cellar. Our president promised that he would liberate Donbass by New Year, but it never happened.
Life before the war is nothing but a memory for these people. Surviving the nightmare inflicted on them is all they can hope for now. Stratford, Al Jazeera, Bakhmut.